The Gift of the Scarecrow. Bedtime story. In the soft, tilled earth of the spring garden, a conflict was brewing. Not a loud one, but a persistent one. Each morning, Leo would find the neat rows of newly sown seeds, carrot, beet, and millet, lightly scratched up. Tiny, sharp footprints dotted the soil. The crows and juncos were having their own breakfast at his expense. With a sigh, Leo knew what tradition demanded. It was time to build a scarecrow. He gathered old materials, a pair of worn-out overalls patched at the knee, a faded flannel shirt that smelled of wood smoke, and a sack for a head. Belara contributed a broad-brimmed hat, weathered by many seasons. Moss the dog watched with interest, tail wagging at the rustling straw. Bramble the cat observed from the porch rail, his tail twitching with philosophical doubt about the whole project. As Leo stuffed the shirt and overalls with sweet-smelling straw, he felt a strange reluctance. The act felt like a declaration of war on the very creatures he usually welcomed. The reluctant sentinel. He planted the finished figure at the garden's edge, its empty sleeves outstretched. It looked less fearsome and more tired. A lonely figure keeping watch. The first day, Leo watched from the window. A crow landed on the fence post, cocked its glossy head, and gave a loud, unimpressed caw. It then fluttered down and perched right on the scarecrow's outstretched arm, using it as a perfect vantage point to scout for worms. Leo hadn't built a terror. He'd built a perch. The next morning, he found not more damage, but a small, fluttering drama. A young sparrow, its wing tired, was clinging to the scarecrow's hat brim, chirping weakly. As Leo approached, a larger hawk circled away, frustrated. The scarecrow's wide, blocking silhouette had offered a moment of safety. The transformation. Instead of scaring, the figure was sheltering. Inspired, Leo and Belara began to subtly alter their creation. Belara tucked a few heads of millet from the bird feeder into the hat's band. Leo poked a few sturdy twigs through the shoulders, creating better perches. They called it not a scarecrow, but a resting crow. The creatures of the hollow understood before Leo did. Soon, the figure was rarely alone. Sparrows waited their turn on the twigs. A curious chickadee would land on the brim. Once, in the evening, a small, lost fox kit curled up for a nap in the deep shadow at the figure's feet, hidden from view. Bramble, from his perch, began to watch the resting crow with a look of approval. Even Moss would lie nearby, his presence deterring true pests, but never disturbing the birds who found refuge on the still, straw-filled sleeves. The lesson in the rain. The true test came during a sudden, chilly spring rain. Leo, looking out from his cozy window, saw the garden empty of life, except for the resting crow. And there, huddled along its sleeve, under the slight overhang of the hat, were 3 soaked sparrows, feathers puffed up, waiting out the storm. His heart softened completely. He had built a thing out of fear, to scare away. But the world, in its gentle wisdom, had repurposed it for mercy. The scarecrow wasn't a failure, it was a lesson. What we build to push away can often become exactly what draws life closer, if we allow it. He had not controlled the birds. He had unknowingly offered them a meeting place, a landmark, a sanctuary. The garden thrived anyway, as if the creatures, respected, took only what they truly needed. The sanctuary. That evening, in the golden light, Leo approached his creation. He placed one hand on its straw shoulder. A sparrow nearby didn't fly away, but merely watched him with a bright, black eye. "Thank you," Leo whispered, to the Scarecrow, and to all it had shown him. Later, by the light of the lantern, he wrote in his journal, "Bramble purring on the open page, built a scarecrow to frighten." It became a sanctuary instead. I see now that we often build fences of fear in our hearts, thinking they will protect us. But if we stuff them with kindness instead of straw, and if we stand with open arms instead of clenched fists, those very same fences become shelters. They become places where tired, lost, or frightened things can rest. The garden is safer not because I scared anything away, but because I accidentally offered a place to belong. And so, dear listener, as you prepare for sleep, think of the scarecrows in your own life. What have you built out of fear or worry? A rule too harsh? A wall around your heart? Could it, perhaps, be transformed? Could it become a perch for rest instead of a post for warning? A landmark of kindness instead of a statue of fear? Remember, you hold the straw. You choose what fills the sleeves. Will it be the sharp sticks of suspicion, or the soft, golden straw of welcome? The mightiest magic is not in keeping things out, but in quietly offering a place where